to collaborate global broadcasting sector for a robust information dissemination. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu distributes professional kits to health workers. And child vaccination in focus as health stakeholders in the FCT strategize. Hello and welcome to the news at 1 on Nta Channel 5, Abuja. I am Mariam George Jitubo. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to collaborating with key stakeholders in the global information and broadcasting sector to strengthen Nigeria's information dissemination framework. This was during discussions with prominent broadcast and information companies at the National Association of Broadcasters NAB Show 2025 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Salu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
The third round Big Catch-up campaign brought together stakeholders and partners in the health sector as they brainstorm on ways to intensify efforts to vaccinate every child in the area councils of the FCT and roll out zero dose in every community. Speaking on the role of stakeholders in the uptake of Big Catch-up campaign and reduce non-compliance during April National Immunization Plus Days, resource persons harp on the need for all hands to be on deck to promote vaccines as preventive measures.
The whole world now is going into preventive medicine, not curative. You don't wait until disease catches you before you start seeking for health care. You prevent it. The best way, the very first and the best way to prevent it is by vaccination.
Their influence on non-compliance institutions such as Islamic and Quranic schools, churches, and mosques should be exploited as their presence in the general meeting with management of institutions can help influence their decision on immunization and also help in sensitization of the parents.
So I encourage.
We apologize for that mix-up. And now back to our earlier report where we said the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to collaborate with key stakeholders in the global information and broadcasting sectors to strengthen Nigeria's information dissemination framework. Salu Abdullahi Gwanara tells us more. Well, sorry, the report is not ready. Moving on. In furtherance of its efforts to stem child and maternal mortality across the country, the Renewed Hope has distributed another batch of 10,000 professional kits to frontline health workers, this time to midwives in Northeast geopolitical zone. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu flagged off the distribution for the zone in Jalingo, Taraba State. State House correspondent Ademi Taiwo tells us more.
With Taraba State as the host, midwives and other frontline healthcare workers in the Northeast geopolitical zone take delivery of their own set of 10,000 professional kits donated by the Renewed Hope initiative.
It is made for professionalism. When you see anybody wearing this outside the hospital, you are able to identify him as a health worker.
And that is why the Renewed Hope initiative, RHI, procured 60,000 branded scrubs and 60,000 pairs of Crocs as an incentive to encourage and support the tireless dedication of our midwives.
Presenting the items as part of RHI intervention under its health advocacies, Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu highlights the importance of investing in and empowering health workers in order to scale down cases of child and maternal mortality in the country.
RHI recognizes that the demands of the health profession requires not only skills and compassion, but also the right tools and kits to encourage our midwives as they serve others.
It takes all of us, the federal government, states, local government, civil society, traditional leaders, and the whole of society to be able to improve the health and well-being of Nigerians.
While applauding the intervention, Taraba State Governor Agbu Kefas aligns the state with RHI vision of renewing the hope of Nigerians.
Let us continue in service to humanity, loving others as we love ourselves. That is the spirit we see in your work today. We in Taraba share in the vision of the Renew Hope initiative, which align with our five-finger development agenda.
Providing financial aid to the elderly, distributing essential food items, and offering support to those in need are clear manifestation of your compassionate leadership.
To the delight of women petty traders in the state, the First Lady also announced a donation of 50 million naira as business recapitalization grant for 1,000 beneficiaries in the state. The First Lady had earlier met with members of the Taraba State Traditional Rulers Council, where she renewed her appeal to them to actively support initiatives designed to improve the health and well-being of their people. Chairman of the council, His Royal Majesty Manu Ishaku Ada Ali, appreciate our interventions in the health sector, noting their impact on the well-being of the people. From Jalingo in Taraba State, Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
And focus on the objectives to increase awareness and knowledge on vaccines and RI schedule through targeted messaging in a bid to stimulate parents to demand for vaccines for their children to achieve 90% coverage of target antigens in the FCT Primary Healthcare Board and partners held a stakeholders town hall meeting for its third round big catch-up campaign to achieve full vaccination for children in the FCT. Cecilia Julius reports.
The third round Big Catch-up campaign brought together stakeholders and partners in the health sector as they brainstorm on ways to intensify efforts to vaccinate every child in the area councils of the FCT and roll out zero dose in every community. Speaking on the role of stakeholders in the uptake of Big Catch-up campaign and reduce non-compliance during April National Immunization Plus Days, resource persons harp on the need for all hands to be on deck to promote vaccines as preventive measures.
The whole world now is going into preventive medicine, not curative. You don't wait until disease catch you before you start seeking for health care. You prevent it. The best way, the very first and the best way to prevent it is by vaccination.
Their influence on non-compliance institutions such as Islamic and Quranic schools, churches, and mosques should be exploited as their presence in the general meeting with management of institutions can help influence their decision on immunization and also help in sensitization of the parents.
So I encourage all the heads of house to please allow your wives to carry their children to health centers for vaccination. Prevention is better than cure.
Communities in the FCT are called upon to cooperate with healthcare workers as they embark on the immunization.
The catch-up is an opportunity for the children missed during COVID-19, and for someone or reason, maybe the father or the parent, they left another state to another state whereby they were not chanced for their immunization, for their wards. Now is an opportunity for them to be vaccinated.
With this vaccination, our children will be more healthy, they will go to school, but when they hesitate, we end up seeing more crippled children. So with the work of Chigari Foundation, we are collaborating with the Primary Healthcare Board, FCT, and the traditional leaders to see how we can break through the communities and create more demand for the uptake of vaccine.
We have cases of children that they have never had the vaccination, that is zero dose, like in Amak and Abaji. We'll ensure that our WC members in those areas mobilize because the community to ensure that it is done.
The Acting Executive Secretary, Primary Healthcare Board, Rukaya Wamako, also appealed to healthcare workers in the state to call off the ongoing strike in the area councils. In Abuja, Cecilia Julius, NTA News.
And away from health, to promote the socio-economic empowerment of women, the Royal Ambassadors Gathering Week 2025 has been organized to drive sustainable impacts, innovations, and development. Minister of Women Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, pledged continued government support for initiatives that create opportunities for women to thrive. Ramat Abdullahi tells us more.
Although many Nigerian women are entrepreneurs and work hard to improve their livelihoods, They often need to belong to organizations that provide them with a voice and attract government support for access to finances, knowledge sharing, and skills development. The collaboration among the Royal Ambassador's Family Enlightenment Foundation, Young Women's Rights Empowerment, and Green Revolution Farmers creates a strong force for driving significant sustainable impact.
The essence of this is to make sure that women are being empowered. The nation cannot neglect the gender. They are very important in whatever we are doing. Whatever we are today, without a woman, we will not be there.
We have embarked in so many projects already, training of members in skill acquisition. As a human rights activist, the legal department of the organization also works, in protecting the rights of women.
Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, said empowering women has far-reaching economic implications for nation building. She emphasized that her ministry will continue to work with stakeholders to promote gender inclusion, create opportunities, and address the challenges facing women and youth.
A lot of funds has gone into it, and so we also want you, in return, when you get back to your different states, your different local governments in the 36 states of Nigeria, including FCT, to work tirelessly, making sure that you bring other women up.
The event featured the inauguration of the national and state executives of the Young Women Rights Empowerment and Support Initiative.
With this very organization, I will make sure the women of Nigeria and Africa at large should be in the forefront of governance.
The theme of the Royal Ambassadors Gathering Week 2025 is Building Global Partnerships for Sustainable Impacts, Innovations and Development. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the inauguration of the Grace of God Humanitarian World Forum highlighted the profound impact of giving on individuals and communities. Speakers at the event emphasized the importance of feeding the needy and creating initiatives that align with core values. Howard Gimba reports that the founder of the group, Evangelist Oluwafimilayo Aishat Okedeyi, aims to create a more compassionate and equitable society for the less privileged.
Philanthropy can have a profound impact on individuals and communities. By working together, non-governmental organizations can create positive change and support those in need. The Grace of God Humanitarian World Forum serves as a joint body emphasizing the importance of kindness, empathy, and generosity. The forum brought together non-governmental organizations to support those in need. Speakers emphasized the importance of giving and helping the less privileged, highlighting the benefit of philanthropy and the role of faith in inspiring charitable work.
I'm meant to be a giver, and giving, it brings a lot of blessings. By the time you release to the poor, you give to the poor, or you give to the blessed, God will in turn bless you back. Givings open doors.
If the less privileged are assisted or are gifted, definitely it reduces the stress and problems in the society.
The host, Evangelist Oluwafumilayo Aisha Okedeyi, emphasized that giving the less privileged is a calling from God. She noted that coming together as one body will help alleviate the suffering of people in the society.
We are looking out for the Almighty God, and that's the truth. And whoever that God touch to support, because looking for people, it's not like God. Coordinate together, collaborate together, so that we can help the poor, we can help the less privileged, and so that we can stop hunger.
For the heads of non-governmental organizations who travel from far and near, this collective effort aims to encourage support for those in need.
By coming together, there is spirit in unity. There is power in unity. When we come together, like I give praise to our able leader, is capable of doing that.
So when I had an opportunity to come together, it gladdens my hand. I see it as a way to fulfill the vision and the calling that God has already given to me.
Being human being is not enough, but having that humanity in you matters.
The inauguration of the Grace of God Humanitarian World Forum seeks to provide support to those in need through initiatives such as feeding the hungry. Hawagimba, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 1 on Nta Channel 5, Abuja, the station. We'll be back after this message. Do stay.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their socio-economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, 1 person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, 1 person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary healthcare center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
Good to know you're there. Now, back to Saliu Abdullahi Gwanera's report, where we said the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to collaborating with key stakeholders in the global information and broadcasting sector to strengthen Nigeria's information dissemination framework. Let's have the report, please.
It is a global show of modern broadcast. In line with the 5-point agenda of the ministry, Mohammed Idris emphasized that the administration of President Bola Tinubu is committed to adopting cutting-edge technologies and state-of-the-art equipment for federal government media organizations to ensure effective service delivery.
Well, this connected with the new hub. The renewed hub is about, seeing what is new around the globe, bringing best practices, bringing everyone together, fusing technology with content so that Nigerians can be better informed, not just in terms of infrastructure, but in terms of the new content that can be created for the benefit of all Nigerians. And this is one of the lessons that we are learning here, and this is what we are taking back home.
He assured that part of his desire to harness the media ecosystem in Nigeria is to explore effective collaborations and partnerships that will allow local broadcasters to benefit from emerging technologies through training.
Breaking new grounds for all of us to move forward in terms of broadcasting for our of our country. This is why we are here. And I think there's a great opportunity, and all of us are benefiting, and Nigeria is going to be better for it.
The minister was accompanied by heads of agencies under the ministry, including the Director General of NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, Director Generals of News Agency of Nigeria, Voice of Nigeria, National Broadcasting Commission, and that of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria.
We have seen how the technology is growing. We've had discussions with some of our partners. We have also interacted with new business partners. We're trying to see how we can improve on what we have already and also introduce some of these new technologies in order to foster the market.
There are new technology technology that is easy. This is more like an innovation. It has exposed myself and my agency to the fact that there's a convergence and we need to take maximum benefit of it. For me, this show has been an eye-opener, and I have seen the evolution of greater technology that would make our job a lot easier.
And we're going to engage some of them for real to be able to do our work.
The team visited the exhibitions showcasing hardware and software solutions, including ability to engage the manufacturers who pledged readiness to collaborate with the ministry in its efforts towards transforming Nigeria's broadcasting landscape. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Over now to Business Desk for business news. Personal remittances hit 20.9. Good afternoon and welcome to Business News this week. I'm Hakimat Ali. The Central Bank of Nigeria, 3 billion in 2024, reflecting an 8.9% increase in that year. This was contained in a statement issued on Wednesday by the Apex Bank announcing a balance of payment surplus of 6.83 billion for the 2024 financial year. The statement was signed by the CBN's Acting Director of Corporate Communications, Mrs. Hakama Sidi Ali. The figure marks a significant turnaround for deficits of $3.34 billion and $3.32 billion recorded in 2023 and 2022 respectively. The CBN attributed the improvement to a mix of macroeconomic reforms, stronger trade performance, and renewed investor confidence. The Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria has urged the federal government to reconsider its plans to ban the importation of solar panels. The move to ban solar imports in Nigeria is a decision that demands careful reconsideration. Recently, Minister of Science and Technology, Uche Nnaji, stated that the federal government is willing to support local manufacturing of solar panels while restricting imports. Nnaji highlighted Nigeria's capacity to produce solar panels through the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure. And on the foreign scene, EU member states on Wednesday approved initial retaliatory tariffs of 10% to 25% on US imports, which the European Commission says will be implemented next week. This includes special levies on items such as jeans, motorcycles from the United States, while US-made whiskey and other alcoholic beverages were removed from the Commission's proposed list. Further counter tariffs are due to be imposed in mid-May and at the end of the year, affecting products including beef, poultry, citrus fruits such as oranges and grapefruits. And now to our local news. With the rising cost of living and economic uncertainties, financial experts emphasize the need for individuals to diversify their sources of income.
Experts say that depending on a single source of income is a financial gamble that could leave individuals struggling during economic downturns. Diversifying income streams has become more than just a financial strategy. It is now a necessity for long-time Nigeria. The financial expert observed that it is very important to consider running small, medium businesses side by side alongside full-time employment for the employees.
MSMEs are the greatest employers of labor. The reason why they can do such is because doing business in can be seen, so they can employ a lot of people. But here in Nigeria, they're able to think deeper to find out how they can create employment through all these MSMEs.
He noted bureaucracy for starting business in Nigeria. They, however, said having multiple income streams can provide a safety net, reducing the risk of financial hardship.
How much we can take. The news continues shortly. Let's join the sports desk for Sports Brief.
As the date for the kick-off of the 22nd National Sports Festival tagged Gateway Games Ogun 2025 draws near, the National Sports Commission NSC inaugurated 19 subcommittees to ensure the successful hosting. During the ceremony held at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, the Director General of the National Sports Festival, as Nigeria's version of the Olympics, and a platform through which the nation identifies, nurtures, and develops its best athletes to represent the country at international competitions. He emphasized that the ultimate goal is to host a festival that will be appreciated both nationally and internationally, stressing that anything short of excellence would not be acceptable. Elsewhere, Manchester United gave a good fight to secure a 2-2 draw at Olympique Lyon in France in the UEFA Europa League on Thursday, and will have a date in the second leg to decide their fate of going to the semi-final. Another English side, Tottenham Hotspur, were forced to a 1-1 draw by Eintracht Frankfurt of Germany. 10-man Rangers of Scotland were held to a goalless draw by Athletic Club of Spain. FK Bodo Glimt took home advantage to beat Lazio 2-0. With Sports Brief, Abdullah